Hey, what's up? I'm Casey and this is CaseyReacts. Today I'm going to be going through life pro tips on Reddit. Have you ever wanted to take random strangers' advice? Well, if you go to Life Pro Tips, you can do it. I mean, you have to decide whether or not that advice is worth taking, but most of the stuff that gets on here is very good advice for anybody and everybody. Alright, well let's get to it. Advice from my father. Never be cheap and cut corners when buying shoes or mattresses. If you're not in one, you're probably in the other. Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I will always say it. Honestly, every single time this has popped up, I think I've put it in my videos. Buy good mattresses. Buy expensive mattresses. Or rather, buy very well crafted mattresses at a hopefully good cost. But yeah, that's got to be the most expensive piece of furniture or the most high quality piece of furniture that you own. Same for shoes. Don't cheap out. Don't buy a $10 pair of Walmart shoes unless those are actually the best shoes for your feet. You want to get something that's really good, doesn't matter the cost. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of issues down the line. If you're in your 20s or 30s, keep older people that you enjoy, like coworkers, in your social circle. They can vastly enrich your worldview and help you have a more complete view on life. There's not really much I can say here other than it's pretty cool to have friends that are older than you and friends that are younger than you. It gives you a very good view of how things happen depending on the generation. What kind of things do people that are 20 years older than you go through? What kind of things do people that are younger than you go through now? Is it different than what you went through? It's always interesting to have friends of various ages. Of course, yeah, have your friends group that you're going to hang out with be around your age, but never ever underestimate. It can be pretty cool to have a younger friend or an older friend, especially if you're under 21 and that older friend can buy you booze. Not that I support that, but that's how most high school students get their booze. That's just plain honest. Be super careful about how you speak to yourself. Here's why. Your brain is always looking for evidence to confirm what you have told it. So, if the story in your mind is, things always suck and never work out for me, your brain's gonna seek and find everything in your life that reinforces that statement. It'll disregard everything that doesn't. This is why people start to say things like, show me how it gets better. I know it can get better than this. It starts to, because your brain is now looking for evidence for that to be true, to show you that life has the capacity to be better. So, be intentional about your thoughts and the reality you're creating. Alright, let's give this a try here. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence! Damn it! Never mind, it doesn't work. If you find yourself in family photos during this 4th of July where you're the girlfriend or boyfriend of someone in the family, make sure to excuse yourself for a few photos where the family can get photos of just them. Yeah, it's gonna sound mean, but it's always better to have a spare set of copies of photos for holidays with just the family. You know, just in case you become the ex. Nobody wants to put a framed photo of you and your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend on the wall if, anything ever happens and y'all break up. Now, if you're married, yeah, stay in the photos. I mean, maybe give their side of the family their photos and your side of the family can take photos, but still, it's always best just to let one side of the family have their own photos as well. Google doesn't show ads when your query includes anything related to COVID, but it doesn't distinguish which part of the query. So, if you use COVID as an excluded phrase, such as NVIDIA 3080-COVID, you get similar results, but without ads. I mean, I've never really had an issue with ads on Google. All I have to do is just scroll down a little bit farther, but, I mean, if you don't like ads, perfect thing to do. If someone asks you a random question out of the blue, they probably want you to ask it back. You know, I'm not really sure how well this translates into real life. I mean, if you ask your wife, hey, how's your father and his burnt up face from that explosion? I don't think it means that you expect her to say, oh, yeah, he's doing great, and how's your dad's explosion face? I mean, it just doesn't translate very well. Maybe if you ask, hi, how are you doing, you expect it back, but I wouldn't say any random question out of the blue that you want to ask it back. If your boss fires you, do not fire back with, I quit. If you quit your job, you can't collect unemployment, which is meant to tide you over until you acquire new employment. Instead, apply for unemployment. Worst case, you'll be denied, but you may be approved. Check your local laws to know if you qualify based on the conditions of your termination. Also, if you're concerned or think that maybe you're entitled to a wrongful termination suit, keep your mouth shut instead of firing back with indignation no matter how angry you are. Too upset to not keep your mouth shut? Remember, there are other avenues to get back at crappy employers. Report OSHA and workplace safety violations, improper waste disposal, and other issues that can have legal ramifications for them, making sure to do so through the proper channels. Hold the company responsible for their actions, without giving them leave to take legal action against you or prevent dispersal of any wages or unemployment you may be due. Not only is it satisfying, but you'll hopefully be making life better long term for future employees of that company. Edit. No one is saying to wait to be fired if you're in a toxic work environment. This is solely regarding scenarios where you're being fired and had not been planning to quit, had not put in your notice, etc. If you need to leave your job for your mental or physical health, do it. Advocate for yourself. Don't lie if reporting a company to authorities about workplace safety violations and other such issues. Only file them if they're true. Not all places of employment write up termination paperwork prior to firing employees. Ask for the conditions of your termination in writing, and know if you have a right to have this provided based on where you are. To those in the comments whining about this being popular in TV and movies, yes. Yes, it is. It's meant to be a display of empowerment to the person quitting, which can and has influenced people to make this poor decision. I have personally known a couple of people who've done this and it bit them in the ass. Check your local laws to know if you can file for unemployment benefits if you quit. There are some circumstances where you can, but this varies by area. Also, know your local recording laws if you feel you'll need evidence on your side when you leave your post either from being terminated or quitting. Unemployment benefits are not solely for those who have been laid off. Terms of unemployment benefits vary by location, so do your homework. Always fill up your vehicle on the way home instead of in the morning. You never know when you'll get a middle-of-the-night emergency pickup request, evacuation, or a general situation that requires you to get in the vehicle and go at any hour. Also, Taco Bell. If you need to get Taco Bell at 4 in the morning, you gotta have gas. It's very, very important that you get gas. It's also very important that you go before 4 in the morning because I'm pretty sure Taco Bell closes at 4. So if you gotta go, leave yourself enough time to get to Taco Bell. Taco Bell, please sponsor me and send me stuff. If someone advises you to lie, especially in a non-critical situation, think about it before doing so. It's hard to buy credibility back if you're caught. This is in response to a pattern of recent posts in this sub that suggests it's a decent tip to basically be dishonest or manipulate a situation when there are better ways to deal with this stuff. Being a habitual liar is bad. If you get caught enough times unnecessarily lying when the truth would have been the better thing to say, you'll lose the confidence of your friends and family. Don't start down the path, unless you're okay with being, well, evil. Develop integrity and don't lie for convenient and selfish reasons. Yeah, no, I know this one personally. I was a very compulsive liar. I was a very habitual liar because, well, that's how I learned to protect myself. That's how I learned to cover myself. And you know what? I'm a great liar. I am fantastic at it. The problem is, you start lying about things and you don't even realize it. You don't even think about it because it's just second nature. I have since then worked on only being truthful. The only times I really ever lie are whenever I'm surprising my wife with something, or if it's really a situation where lying is the only logical reason. And I never lie to my wife anymore. It doesn't always necessarily mean that you're a bad person if you're lying a lot. Honestly, it could just be that you've had to do it to protect yourself and it's hard to stop. I know that. It's worth stopping though. You start to gain trust with everyone. It's worth it. If you're constantly making a routine and dropping it the next day because you feel too tired to follow it, try making 3 different routines. One for low energy, one for mid energy, and one for high energy. Wait, what the hell is high energy? Is that a thing? Can I actually be high energy? Oh damn, okay, cool. So how do I get this power? If anybody knows how you can actually get high energy, please let me know immediately and you'll be my best friend. Always stay at the vet's office until your pet is euthanized, as difficult as it may be. As a veterinarian, it breaks my heart that the animal must spend his or her final moments with strangers. Yeah, if you're gonna have to euthanize your pet, stay with them. They don't know what's going on. All they know is that they're terrified and they don't have you with them. I know that it's really sad to watch a pet go, but think of it this way. It's its final moments. Don't you want them to be happy? Do you not want your pet to know that it's loved? It's the best thing to do. It's the most humane thing to do. It hurts, but in the end it's worth it, and you get those final moments with them too. If you're quitting smoking, know that cravings tend to come in waves which diminish over time. Not knowing this, you may find yourself on the ascending side of a crave wave, thinking it'll just keep getting worse. But knowing it's just a hump to get over can make it easier to hang in there. So the easiest piece of advice is don't smoke. That's a very, very, very addictive thing, and it will take years off of your life. However, if you already are smoking, first off, shame on you. Secondly, I'm kidding. I don't shame people for smoking. Thirdly, try to find a way to quit. It's healthier for you, it's healthier for those around you. You'll thank yourself whenever you're not hacking up a lung at 3 in the morning. Most successful people don't know themselves exactly what caused or causes their success. So while their advice is usually valuable, they can't offer an exact recipe for success. In other words, while doing yoga every morning at 5 a.m. can be a good habit, it's not likely to boost your income. Successful people often have invaluable experience and are worth listening to, but remain vigilant and grounded if you can get the chance to talk to your idol. Also, dropping out of college is not in itself a great career choice. Yeah, don't drop out of college if you plan on going and you think, hey, I can be like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. Yeah, don't do it because they are the exception to the rule. If you drop out of college, things are probably not going to go your way. Now, if you have to drop out of college for any other reason aside from, hey, I want to be successful, well, there are always reasons to drop out of college. It kind of sucks, but it happens. Just don't drop out thinking that you're going to become a big success for dropping out. There's a difference between a genuinely messy house and one that merely looks lived in. It doesn't always need to look like a museum if someone will see the inside. Not everyone requires, notices, or even prefers a house that looks like no one lives there. I first noticed this years ago when I would go over to one of my friends' houses, and I always noticed how much more comfortable I always felt there. I realized it was because he wasn't a slob by any means, but he left mail on the front table, a dish or two in the sink. Maybe his coffee mug and the paper were still in the living room, somewhat askew from being read. It felt like coming into a home, not a showroom, and also communicated to the guests that they can just relax and make themselves at home. A lot of the time now, I find I need to tell people explicitly not to go crazy cleaning for me. It's okay to have a house in a normal state of usage. I was of the hotel level of cleaning school until I made this realization. Now, if a worker or friend is coming over, I just make sure the place isn't yucky, messy, or dirty. But having a few things out and not everything totally neat and hospital cornered is okay. I don't think people are as judgmental as many of us assume. And if it isn't even a friend or relative, why do we care to prove how super neat we can be? Yeah, I'm against the mad dash to clean the house if you have someone coming over. I mean, yeah, it's good to make your house look nice, but don't try to make it look perfect, because your house is never going to be perfect. Here's when your house is perfect. As soon as you get done cleaning and making it look perfect, then I'd say give or take an hour later, it's going to look just as it normally does. It's really worth the extra effort because everybody else's houses are going to look like this too. Just don't have bugs, don't have maggots in the sink and things like that. As long as you just keep your house clean enough, yeah, it's pretty good. Nobody's going to complain. Take those things off the couch and just drop them on the floor next to the couch or just kind of roughly put them somewhere. You don't have to find perfect spots for every single thing to make things look, well, like it said, not lived in. As a bonus, if the house looks lived in, it really helps someone to be able to relax. It helps them to feel like, okay, I can sit on the couch. I can do this. I can do that. I don't feel like I'm going to ruin their hard work if I do this. I just know in my experience from going over to people's houses and having them clean it spotless, it makes me uncomfortable because I don't want to touch anything. If you're putting air in your tires, you should also put some air in your spare tire as well. Spare tires will lose their air over time and you never know when you'll need to use it. Yeah, with my luck, I would lose the tire and have to use a spare, and then that turns out to be flat as well. I don't know why, but that's just my luck. If you can afford it, it also might be good to put an air compressor in your car and just leave that there. That way, if you ever need to, you can hook it up and, you can inflate your tire. Before going on a summer vacation, pick a new song you like and listen to it a bunch during your trip. Then, whenever you hear the song in the future, you'll remember fun vacation memories. Yeah, that works, but it also works this way. If you just got Far Cry 4 for your PlayStation, and you take your truck, go down to Buffalo Wild Wings, and come back with your very specific flavor of wing, Chipotle barbecue, listen to Bittersweet by Panic at the Disco. Because every single time that you hear that song from then on, if you do this every time you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, every time you hear the song, here's what you're going to be thinking about. Far Cry 4, Chipotle barbecue Buffalo Wild Wings. I can't listen to that song anymore without craving Chipotle barbecue and wanting to play Far Cry 4. It's torture. Great song. Torture. But seriously though, Chipotle barbecue wings. They're awesome. If you get the dry seasoning on boneless wings, it works perfectly. Dry seasoning on the bone-in wings aren't as good. Sauce is great on both. Okay, I'm done talking about my food. I think I'm just hungry. Alright, and on that note, I'm gonna go get some food. So, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to come back throughout the week for more content. Please like and subscribe to help keep this channel going, and don't forget, have a great week! Fun fact, I didn't just record myself playing the ukulele and then add it to every single one. Every single time I record a video, I play it myself. Ta-da! Now that's useless information, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Have a great day.